We're just going to jump straight in, and today we're going to start with the basics, and today we're going to talk about cubic weight versus dead weight. Every transport company in Australia has a freight profile of what they will and won't carry. They have limits on what they will and won't carry. So you can have a great big box that weighs nothing. You can think you can send it with one transport company and they don't want to take it because it's outside their freight profile. So it's important information and it seems really silly, but let's break it down. What's cubic weight or volumetric weight? Every company charges you on what's the highest. Is it dead weight or the cubic weight? If you sell light items, it's the cubic weight that is affecting you. How do you work it out? How do you know whether you're right? Most people, or a lot of people, just think, oh, well, I've got the dead weight, well, it doesn't matter how big it is because that's what I'm getting charged on. And that's not the case at all. So the way the industry works it out, they have what we call a 250 cubic measure, which basically means if you've got a carton that is a metre by a metre by a metre, whether it's full of air and just sent like that, it weighs 250 kilos because it takes up a lot of room, and that's what their charge is. How do you work that out when you're sending small items? So it's really easy. It's quite an easy equation. I've done it for you. I've got a box here that I pulled out, Exhibit A if you like. This box is 32 by 25 by 11, 12 centimetres. We always work in centimetres in the industry. You've got to forget your millimetres. So 32, 25, 12. I've done it for you. I've worked it out. I'll get my little board. So 32, 25, 12. How do we work it out? So, because it's under a metre, it's 0.32 by 0.25 by 0.12 by 250. It works out to be 2.4 kilos. Because in the industry everything's rounded up, so if you go over the kilo at any mark, if it's 2.1, it goes up to the next kilo charge rate, so it'll go up to 3 kilos. So your complete charge rate on that box is 3 kilos. So if you're a small sender and you're using satchels, as long as everything's packed well, that would go on your 3 kilo mark. If it went over, if it goes over, and if it goes over by the smallest amount, 3.1, it takes you from a 3 kilo to a 5 kilo box. You need to be, so this is where it comes into play. The driver comes along, he picks up your box, puts it in his van, takes it back to the depot. He takes it out of his van and he puts it on the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt has a machine in it, it's called a dimensioner. And as it goes over the dimensioner, it scans the barcode and with laser measures your box. So if there's anything sitting up from your box, tape like this here, if it's not all sitting flat and tidy and nice, you've got bits sticking up, jaggy bits, the dimensioner picks up all of that and makes your cubic measure far bigger sometimes than what it is, and you need to be aware of it. We will charge you back if we get charged for it. So it's a very frustrating thing. Our customers get frustrated with it. We get frustrated with it. It's important to declare correctly. Make sure you get it right. Then you don't get overcharged. You don't get charged more. You don't have to qualify yourself if you get it right from the get-go.